Imagine this: the flashing lights of Atlanta's nightlife dim. The music cuts and whispers spread faster than wildfire across social media. King Harris, the outspoken, rebellious son of rap legend T.I. sits in the backseat of a black SUV, face buried in his hands. Tears streaming down as his phone screen glows with a video that changes everything. A video that threatens not only his reputation, but his identity as a young father. Fans are shocked, friends are scrambling for answers, and the Harris family is left shaken to its core. The boy who grew up in the shadow of hip-hop royalty is suddenly thrust into the harsh spotlight of betrayal and heartbreak. And what's in that video? A revelation so devastating that even King himself struggles to believe it. The baby he proudly called his own, the child he boasted about. The little one he held up on Instagram's allegedly not his. Gasps echo across the internet as rumors swirl, receipts are dropped, and accusations fly. In the world of reality TV-level drama, this isn't just gossip. This is a full-blown explosion of lies, loyalty, and lost trust. Stay tuned because you're about to hear the messy, jaw-dropping truth behind King Harris' emotional breakdown. The night the video surfaced was supposed to be a celebration. King Harris had just left a studio session, hyped about some new tracks and feeling on top of the world. His friends were with him, laughing, recording snippets on their phones, and posting stories like everything was normal. But while the music blasted through the speakers, King's phone buzzed with notification after notification. At first, he ignored it, thinking it was just fans reacting to his posts. But the vibration didn't stop, and his best friend nudged him, saying, "Yo, bro, people going crazy on your name right now." King finally opened his phone, and that's when the mood shifted instantly. There it was, a clip being shared everywhere, grainy, but clear enough to make out the voices. In the video, a young woman, the same one who King had been linked to as the mother of his baby, is overheard talking to a group of friends, and her words hit like daggers. She laughed as she admitted, "I can't believe he really thinks that baby is his. Like, come on now. Everybody knows the truth but him." The car fell silent. His friends stopped joking, their smiles frozen. King's face dropped as he replayed the video, hoping he had heard wrong. But the words repeated louder each time. His hands shook, his chest tightened. And for a moment he didn't know if he should scream, cry, or throw the phone out the window. One of his boys leaned forward, whispering, "Bro, you good?" But King didn't answer. The betrayal was too heavy, the humiliation too fresh. This wasn't just some rumor cooked up by trolls. This was his girl, the one he trusted. The one he defended online when people doubted her loyalty. By the time he reached home, chaos had already erupted. Social media was on fire, hashtags trending, fan pages dissecting every frame of the video. "Fans are shocked," one account wrote. "We never thought King would go through something like this." Others weren't so sympathetic, some even mocking him for being played while living in the public eye as he stormed into the house. His parents were already waiting. T sat on the couch, stern and serious, scrolling through his own phone. Tiny, his mother, looked heartbroken, her eyes fixed on her son as he walked in with his head low. King T said slowly, "We need to talk." But King wasn't ready to hear lectures. "Talk about what?" "That I've been made a fool of. That everybody's laughing at me right now. I don't need to talk. I need answers." His voice cracked, betraying the tears he tried to hold back. Tiny reached out. "Baby, sit down, please. We don't know if that video is even real." King snapped back, "Ma, it's her voice. I know it's her. I ain't stupid." She straight up said, "The baby ain't mine." His fists clenched as he paced the room, frustration boiling over. That's when his phone rang. It was her, the girl at the center of the storm. Everyone in the room froze, waiting to see what he'd do. With shaky hands, King answered. "So you out here clowning me, huh?" he said, his voice trembling with rage. On the other end, she sighed. "King, it's not what you think. People twist words, you know that." But he wasn't buying it. "Nah, you laughing in that video? You said it. You made me look stupid in front of the whole world. So tell me right now, is the baby mine or not?" Silence. The kind of silence that makes your stomach drop. After a pause, she said softly, "King, I can't talk about this over the phone." That was enough to send him over the edge. "Nah, you gone talk about it right now?" he shouted before hanging up. He threw the phone across the room, shattering it against the wall. Tiny gasped. T shook his head, and the rest of the family who had gathered peeked nervously from the hallway. The drama didn't stop there. Within hours, blogs picked up the story, fans speculated wildly, and even other celebrities started chiming in. One popular influencer tweeted, "Man, I feel bad for King Harris." But he always acted tough. Now he gotta face some real-life pain. By the next morning, the situation grew worse. Paparazzi camped outside the family home, cameras flashing, reporters yelling questions about DNA tests and paternity drama. King refused to leave his room, his pride crushed inside. T tried to handle the mess like a businessman, calling his publicist, figuring out statements, and planning damage control. But Tiny worried more about her son's heart. She sat on the edge of his bed, rubbing his back as he stared blankly at the ceiling. "Baby, you gotta be strong," she whispered. "No matter what the truth is, we'll get through this." King turned to her with tears in his eyes. "Ma, I loved her. I put everything into being there for her and that baby. If it's not mine, then what was it all for?" Tiny hugged him tight, but the pain lingered. Meanwhile, the girl at the center of it all posted a cryptic message on her social media. "People will believe anything they see online. Stay tuned." The comment section exploded, fans demanding answers. Others calling her out for playing with the young man's emotions. Later that evening, King agreed to meet her face to face, not for closure, but for clarity. The scene was tense, the air thick with resentment. They sat across from each other at a quiet spot, no cameras, no friends, just raw emotions. "You owe me the truth," King said, his voice low but firm. She looked away, fiddling with her hands. "King, I didn't mean for things to get this far. I didn't mean for that video to leak." He cut her off. "Forget the video. Is the baby mine or not?" Her eyes filled with tears, but she hesitated. "I don't know." Those 3 words shattered him more than anything else could. Not knowing was worse than denial. It meant betrayal, confusion, and months of his life hanging in the balance. He stood up, shaking his head. "You played me. You used me for clout, for money, for whatever. I was there at the hospital. I held that baby first. And now you tell me you don't know." His voice cracked as anger and heartbreak mixed into one. She reached out, trying to grab his arm, but he pulled away. "Don't touch me," he snapped, before walking off into the night, leaving her sobbing at the table. But the story didn't end there. As King returned home, fans online had already begun demanding a DNA test, some even tagging T and Tiny directly, urging them to step in. "Emotions Ran High" became the headline plastered across gossip blogs, and clips of King's emotional breakdown leaked from anonymous sources close to the family inside the Harris household. The debate had begun. Should King take a DNA test to silence the rumors, or should the family protect their privacy at all costs? T leaned toward the first option, while Tiny wanted to shield her son from further humiliation. King himself felt torn, not sure if he wanted to face the truth or keep pretending everything was fine. As the pressure mounted, the Harris family gathered once more around the dining table, the same place where so many family decisions had been made. The tension was thick, everyone waiting for King to speak. Finally, he looked up and said, "If the world wants a test, then maybe that's what they'll get. I need to know the truth for myself." And with that declaration, the stage was set for the next chapter of this unraveling drama. The very next morning, King Harris woke up to find his name plastered across every headline imaginable. The words were brutal. "King Harris paternity scandal? Is T's grandson really his?" And fans demand DNA test. The internet had turned his private nightmare into a public circus. He scrolled through the comments, each one cutting deeper than the last. "Bro got played," one user mocked. Another wrote, "Feel bad for him, but he should have known better." Every swipe on his phone was like another punch to the gut. T walked into his son's room. calm but firm, as if he had already made up his mind. "Look, son," he said, "this ain't just about you, no more. This is about the family name. The way folks looking at us right now, it ain't good." King sat up, his eyes red from lack of sleep. "So, what you saying, Pops? That I gotta put my whole life on blast just to keep the family looking good?" "I'm saying we gotta handle this right," T replied, his voice steady. "You deserve the truth, and the only way to get it is with a test. People are already talking, so let's give him something solid." Tiny, who had been listening from the doorway, interjected softly. "Tip, he's still just a boy. His heart's breaking. Do you really think dragging this out in public is the answer?" "This ain't about public or private," T shot back. "This about facts. We can't run from it." King buried his face in his hands. "Y'all don't get it. It's not just about me looking dumb. I loved that girl. I loved that baby. Now everything feels fake." The tension was unbearable. T wanted resolution, Tiny wanted protection, and King was stuck between both. Finally, he muttered, "Fine, I'll do the test. But if that baby's not mine, I don't ever want to see her again." Word spread quickly, as it always does in the entertainment world. Paparazzi captured King and T leaving a medical facility. Cameras flashing, questions shouted. "Is the baby yours, King? How do you feel about the betrayal? What will you do if the results come back negative?" King kept his head down, but inside, emotions churned. Fans, meanwhile, were divided. Some supported him wholeheartedly. "Stay strong, King. We got you," one fan tweeted. Others were more ruthless, claiming he was naive, that he should have seen the signs. A few days later, the girl at the center of the chaos broke her silence with an exclusive live session on social media. Dressed casually but visibly nervous, she looked straight into the camera and said, "I know everybody wants answers. I never meant to hurt King. I never meant for things to get this messy. But there are things y'all don't know." Fans flooded the comments, demanding she reveal the truth about the baby's paternity. She hesitated before adding, "All I can say is, sometimes life is complicated. Sometimes people make mistakes." That vague response only fueled the fire. Gossip blogs dissected every word, debating whether she was confessing or deflecting. King saw the live and exploded in anger. "Mistakes." He shouted at the screen. "You ruined my life and you call it a mistake?" He stormed out of his room and confronted his parents again. Why is she out there playing victim while I'm the one suffering? Why nobody calling her out? Tiny tried to calm him down, but King's frustration boiled over. "Nah, I'm done being quiet. If she wants to play games online, I'll air out the truth too." And he did. That very night, King went live on his own account, his voice trembling with both anger and heartbreak. "Y'all want to know the truth? I gave that girl everything. I was there for her when nobody else was. I took care of her. I took care of that baby. And now she out here laughing behind my back. Nah, I won't let that slide. Test results coming soon, and when they do, everybody gonna see who the real liar is." The live went viral instantly. Fans reposting clips with captions like "Emotions ran high and King finally speaks." His raw honesty struck a chord with many, though critics still mocked him. Meanwhile, the test results were processing, and the wait only intensified the drama. Family dinners were awkward, phone calls were constant, and every news outlet speculated about the outcome. One blogger even claimed to have inside sources saying the baby wasn't his. Though nothing was confirmed as the days dragged on, T grew more impatient. "We need to be ready for whatever comes," he told Tiny. "If it's his, we support him. If it ain't, we move on." But King wasn't ready to move on. Late at night, he replayed old videos on his phone, clips of him holding the baby, smiling proudly, whispering, "That's my little man." Every memory stung. Then came another twist. A mysterious direct message popped up on King's account from someone claiming to be a friend of the girl. The message read, "Bro, she been lying to you from the start. I got proof." Attached was a series of screenshots showing conversations where she allegedly admitted the baby's father was another man. someone she had been secretly seeing while still with King. Shaking with rage, King showed the messages to his parents. T raised an eyebrow. This the proof we needed. If this true, then she'd been playing you from day one. Tiny, however, was cautious. Anybody can fake messages. We can't jump to conclusions yet. But King wasn't interested in caution. He posted one of the screenshots on his story, captioning it with, "The truth always comes out." The internet erupted again, with fans speculating, dissecting, and arguing nonstop. Some believed him, others accused him of making things worse. The girl clapped back within hours, posting her own story. Fake receipts don't change real life. Y'all believe whatever narrative y'all want. The back and forth only heightened the drama. Blogs ran headlines like, "He said, she said, who's telling the truth?" Fans picked sides and even other celebrities chimed in. One rapper tweeted, "Young King going through it, man. Hope he keep his head up, but the true turning point was just around the corner." One evening, as the family gathered in the living room, the phone rang. It was the clinic. The DNA results were ready. Silence filled the room as T answered, listening carefully before hanging up. He turned to his son, his expression unreadable. "King," he said slowly, "we got the results." King's heart raced, his palms sweaty, and he whispered that the words T spoke next would forever change the course of everything. T's voice was heavy as he looked his son in the eye. "King, the baby ain't yours." The words hung in the air like smoke, thick and suffocating. The room went silent. Tiny gasped and covered her mouth, tears forming instantly. King froze, his eyes wide, his body stiff, as if time itself had stopped. "What you mean? It ain't mine," King whispered, his voice trembling. Nah, y'all playing with me?" "Son, I'm playing," T said firmly. "The test is clear. The baby doesn't share your DNA." King's whole world collapsed in that moment. He stumbled back, nearly knocking over a chair, and clutched his chest like he couldn't breathe. "So I've been holding another man's baby this whole time. I've been calling him mine, feeding him, losing sleep over him, and it ain't even mine." His voice cracked, tears rolling down his cheeks. Tiny rushed to him, wrapping her arms around her son, but he pushed away. "Don't touch me right now, Ma. I can't deal." The weight of betrayal crushed him. Memories of late nights rocking the baby, smiling proudly for the camera. Defending his girl online, all of it, suddenly felt like a cruel joke. Just then, his phone buzzed again. It was her. She must have known the results were out. King stared at the screen, his anger boiling. T muttered, "Don't answer it," but King did. "So it's true, huh? You had me out here looking like a fool. Raising a kid that ain't even mine." His voice was low, dangerous. Dot on the other end. She sobbed. "King, please, let me explain. It wasn't supposed to happen this way. I didn't want you to find out like this. Like this," he shouted. "So when was you gone? Tell me. After I wasted my whole life? After I put my name on the line? You used me, girl. You used me for clout, for money, for everything." She cried harder. "I was scared, King. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to lose you. You lost me the second you lied." He spat before hanging up. The family sat in silence as King collapsed onto the couch, his face buried in his hands. Tiny rubbed his back gently. "Baby, I know this hurts, but you're gonna get through it. We're all here for you." But King wasn't listening. In his mind, scenes replayed like a broken movie. The moment he first held the baby. The pride in his voice when he said, "That's my son." The way fans praised him for stepping up as a young father. All of it now tainted. News of the DNA results spread like wildfire. Gossip blogs updated their headlines. "DNA proves baby, not King Harris." Fans shocked by betrayal, and King Harris breaks down after truth revealed. Clips of his earlier live sessions resurfaced, with people commenting things like, "Poor kid. He really loved that baby, and this is heartbreaking to watch." But not everyone was sympathetic. Trolls mocked him, writing, told y'all it wasn't his and rookie mistake. The harsh comments only deepened his wounds. Later that night, T sat down with his son privately. Listen, King, I know you're hurting right now, but you gotta learn from this. Not everybody around you is real. Not everybody who say they love you mean it. King shook his head. I don't care about none of that right now, Pops. I just want the pain to stop. I feel like everybody laughing at me. Let M laugh, T replied firmly. You know who you are. This don't define you. But King wasn't convinced. He grabbed his phone and went live again, his face swollen from crying. I don't care what nobody say, he began. Yeah, I got played. Yeah, I loved a baby that wasn't mine. But you know what? I was real. I was there. I ain't fake like her. So laugh all you want, but at least I know I gave my heart for real. The live quickly went viral. Fans flooding the comments with messages of support. You're stronger than you think, one wrote. Keep your head up, King, another said. Meanwhile, the girl at the center of it all faced her own backlash. Fans flooded her page with angry comments, calling her a liar, a manipulator, and worse. Some even demanded she reveal the real father. Under pressure, she posted another statement. I never meant to hurt King. I love him, and I will always love him. I made mistakes, and I take responsibility. Please stop sending me hate. But her words fell flat. The damage was done as days passed. The drama took another unexpected turn. One of King's close friends revealed that the alleged real father of the baby wasn't just some random guy. It was someone King knew, someone from his own circle. When King heard this, his blood boiled. What you mean, somebody I know? Who? The friend hesitated before whispering the name. King's eyes widened in shock. Nah, not him. It can't be. The betrayal cut even deeper. Not only had his girl lied, but someone he trusted might have been involved too. If that's true, King muttered through clenched teeth, then it ain't just her who played mitts, everybody. The revelation spread quickly online. Fans speculating about the identity of the alleged real father. Some pointed fingers at random names, while others claimed to have inside info. The Harris family tried to keep things quiet. But the rumors spiraled out of control. Tiny broke down one evening, telling T, our boy can't catch a break. First the baby, now his own circle. This is tearing him apart. T clenched his jaw. Whoever did this gon' have to face me. King, however, wasn't thinking about revenge. He was lost in grief, pacing his room at night, replaying every moment of his relationship and wondering where it all went wrong. One night, he whispered to himself, I don't even know who to trust anymore. Everybody fake. But little did he know, the drama was about to reach an even bigger climax. Because the alleged real father was preparing to speak out. And when he did, it would set off an explosion that no one could have predicted. Days after the DNA bombshell, the whispers about the baby's real father grew louder. Blogs teased it, fans speculated nonstop, and King Harris sat on edge, waiting for the next blow. He barely slept, barely ate, pacing the house like a storm cloud. T tried to keep things private, but the truth was impossible to contain. Then came the moment no one was ready for. An Instagram Live notification popped up. One of King's own friends, someone who had been in his circle for years, went live with a confession. The boy looked nervous, his eyes darting around. I know y'all been hearing rumors, he began, voice shaky, and I can't keep hiding it no more. Yeah, I messed up the baby. The baby might be mine. The internet exploded instantly. Clips of the confession spread everywhere within minutes. Fans are shocked was the understatement of the year. The betrayal was bigger than anyone imagined. When King saw the video, he nearly lost it. He slammed his fist against the wall, shouting, Nah, this can't be real. He was supposed to be my brother. He was in my house around my family, and the whole time he was sneaking behind my back. Tiny rushed in, terrified by his outburst. Baby, calm down before you hurt yourself. But King was inconsolable. Don't tell me to calm down, Ma. I've been living a lie. She played me, and now he played me too. I can't trust nobody. T, furious himself, called for a private meeting. He demanded the boy come face to face with King. When they finally sat across from each other, the air was thick with tension. Both families present. King glared at him, eyes burning. "Look me in the face and tell me you ain't betray me." The boy hesitated, then whispered, "King, I ain't mean for it to happen. We was drunk one night. It was a mistake." "A mistake," King snapped, cutting him off. "You don't trip and fall into my girl brew. You don't father a whole baby by accident. You knew what you was doing." The boy lowered his head, shame written across his face. "I ain't trying to justify it. I was wrong. But I care about that baby too." Those words made King's blood boil even more. "Nah, you don't get to say that. I was the one who stepped up. I was the one who lost sleep, changed diapers, took pictures, defended her name. And you sat back letting me play daddy while you kept your mouth shut. You're dead to me." Tiny broke down crying, unable to bear the sight of her son's heart tearing apart. T slammed his hand on the table. "You disrespected my son, my family, and now you want to talk about caring. Get out of my sight before I lose control. Get out of my sight before I lose control." The boy left in shame, but the damage was already done. Fans online tore him apart, calling him Snake of the Year and dragging his name through the mud. Memes circulated, jokes flew, and while the internet laughed, King was drowning in humiliation and grief. The girl, meanwhile, tried to save face. She posted another message. "I never wanted things to happen this way. Both of them mean a lot to me. But the baby deserves the truth." Instead of calming the storm, her words made things worse. Fans accused her of playing both sides, some calling her the ultimate villain. King refused to speak to either of them again. He locked himself in his room, refusing calls, ignoring texts, avoiding the outside world. Tiny checked on him constantly, leaving food by his door, whispering prayers at night. Then, in one of the most dramatic moves yet, King made a final public statement. Sitting alone in his room, he went live once more, his voice steady but broken. "Y'all been watching me go through hell these past weeks? Y'all seen me get betrayed by the person I loved and the person I trusted. And yeah, the baby ain't mine. But let me tell you something, I don't regret being there. I don't regret loving that baby, even if he wasn't blood. That was real to me, and nobody can take that away. But from here on out, I'm done letting people play me. I'm cutting ties with snakes. I'm cutting ties with liars, and I'm standing on my own 2 feet. I'm stronger than this, even if it don't feel like it right now." The live went viral, fans flooding the comments with love. "We proud of you, King," one said. Another wrote, "This is growth. Keep shining." Even celebrities reposted it, praising his maturity and resilience. But behind the strength, pain lingered. King still struggled with the emptiness left behind, the memories of what he thought was his child, the laughter and smiles that now felt stolen. Tiny continued to comfort him, while T reminded him to keep his head high. And just when fans thought the storm was over, another rumor began to swirl. Some claimed the boy wasn't the real father either, that there was a third man in the mix. Gossip pages teased new receipts and hinted that the drama wasn't finished. But for King, the chapter had closed. Whether or not new twists emerged, he had made up his mind. He would no longer be controlled by lies or dragged through the mud by betrayal. He had found his voice, and even though his heart was scarred, he was ready to step into the next phase of his life. The Harris family, though shaken and divided by the ordeal, stood together in the end. T's tough love, Tiny's nurturing. And King's resilience painted a picture of a family tested by betrayal but unbroken at its core. And yet, fans couldn't stop asking, would King ever forgive? Would the truth about the baby's real father ever fully come out? Or would this remain one of the most shocking, unresolved scandals in hip-hop family drama? The cameras, the blogs, and the fans were all waiting, hungry for more. Because in true reality TV fashion, the story didn't feel finished. It felt like just the beginning of a saga that could only get messier from here. And just like that, the chapter of King Harris' shocking heartbreak comes to a close for now. The DNA results shook the internet. The betrayals cut deep, and emotions ran higher than ever before. from holding a baby he believed was his own to facing the cruel truth that it wasn't. King has lived through a storm most of us couldn't even imagine, and the revelations about his inner circle that only added gasoline to the fire, leaving fans divided and the family caught in the middle of an emotional whirlwind. But here's the thing, was this the final twist or just the beginning? Some fans believe there are still secrets left untold. Could there be more hidden truths about the baby's real father? Will King ever rebuild trust with his circle? Or has this scandal left permanent scars? And what about his future? Will this heartbreak turn him colder? Or will it fuel his music and make him stronger than ever? We want to know what you think. Do you believe King Harris deserves forgiveness from the people who betrayed him? Or is it time he cuts ties for good? Should he ever reconcile with the girl who lied, or is that chapter closed forever? Your opinions matter, and the comments section is where the real conversation begins. If you felt the intensity of this story, make sure you hit that like button to show support. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest updates on the biggest celebrity drama shaking the culture. And don't forget to turn on notifications, because when the next twist drops in, trust me, you're gonna want to be the first to know. Drop your thoughts below, join the discussion, and let's see where the King Harris saga goes from here.